In the shadowy alleys of international medicine and the shattered memories left behind in Port Charles, a ghost has begun to stir. Britt Westbourne, once believed to have perished in a tragic act of self-sacrifice, may not be as lost to the world as many thought. For those who remembered her harrowing fight with Huntington's disease and her dramatic demise in her mother's arms, the recent whispers of her survival come with both astonishment and suspicion. But this isn't just a story of a woman cheating death, it is a tale woven with secrets, scientific obsession, emotional reckoning, and a past that refuses to stay buried. Britt's journey was once defined by pain, shame, and fear, especially after learning of her Huntington's diagnosis. Her medical brilliance was eclipsed by a ticking clock, each tremor a cruel reminder of the inevitable. As her symptoms worsened, Britt grew increasingly isolated and desperate. She made the decision to leave Port Charles, retreating into the shadows to escape both the disease and the pity she couldn't bear to see in the eyes of those she loved. Her grand New Year's Eve birthday party, disguised as a celebration, was actually her veiled farewell, a final gathering of memories before she slipped away into death or obscurity. But fate had other plans. On the eve of her departure, a horrifying event pulled Britt back into the heart of danger. In a moment that would cement her legacy in Port Charles, Britt flung herself into the path of the hook to save Jocelyn Jacks from certain death. The attack, orchestrated by Heather Weber in one of her most deranged phases, appeared to seal Britt's fate. She was seen dying in the arms of her mother, Liesl, a moment so raw, so visibly tragic, it seemed unquestionable. And yet, as so often happens in Port Charles, not everything is what it seems. Long before that fateful night, Britt had been involved in a mysterious collaboration with Professor Henry Dalton, a reclusive figure whose reputation in fringe medical experimentation circles extended far beyond the boundaries of legality and ethics. Together, they were believed to be working on a highly classified treatment, one that, if successful, could alter the course of Huntington's disease. What Britt injected into herself prior to her disappearance remains unknown, but speculation swirls that it may have been Dalton's prototype drug, something so radical and untested that it bordered on the miraculous. Was it this drug that ultimately saved Britt, not just from Huntington's, but from death itself? Some believe that Dalton, with Liesl's help, staged her death to protect her from further scrutiny or danger. After all, such a medical breakthrough would be a target for powerful pharmaceutical interests and morally gray government agencies. With Britt gone, no one would seek her out, and she could recover in peace, away from the eyes of the world and the judgment of her former colleagues. Croatia, a country known for its luxurious privacy and remote facilities, would be a fitting place for someone hiding from the world. Jason Morgan's reappearance added fuel to a fire already burning under the surface. Once a partner and protector to Britt during her most vulnerable moments, Jason was believed to have perished on Cassadine Island when a tunnel collapsed during a rescue mission. But Jason has been spotted, and more importantly, he has spotted someone else. At an airport in Paris, Jason saw her. Britt. Not trembling, not pale or weak, but alive, composed, and walking with purpose. She didn't see him. Or maybe she did, and chose not to react. But there is no denying that Jason is now on a quest that goes far beyond mere reunion. He is chasing a truth buried under layers of deception, a truth that could unravel everything Port Charles believes about Britt's death. Albrecht, always shrouded in her own mixture of maternal ferocity and scientific cunning, may have been the bridge that connected both Britt's survival and Jason's current pursuit. A stolen piece of information, a scribbled note tucked inside Albrecht's belongings, led Jason directly to the Croatian resort where Britt is rumored to be staying. It's no accident that Liesl had that information. She never truly let go of her daughter. If anyone had the resources, the motive, and the audacity to fake a death and relocate a dying woman to an undisclosed treatment facility, it would be Liesl. Her grief at Britt's death may have been real, but perhaps it was grief tangled in guilt, secrecy, and hope. Still, questions remain. How could Britt survive the hook's poison? How could she look so healthy, so free of the symptoms that once debilitated her? Even the most optimistic projection of Dalton's drug couldn't explain a complete reversal of such an aggressive condition. The notion that she was misdiagnosed seems implausible. Britt was a highly capable doctor, surrounded by the best minds in medicine. If anyone could recognize her symptoms for what they were, it would be her. No, the more believable theory is that Dalton's drug worked. Or at least, it worked well enough to pause the degenerative symptoms. And in doing so, it gave Britt an impossible second chance, a life beyond the shadow of death, a rebirth both physical and emotional. The price? Complete erasure from her former world. She had to die to truly live. But now that Jason is on her trail, the delicate veil shielding Britt's new existence is fraying. Their shared past is heavy with emotion, regret, tenderness, unresolved affection. When they meet again, as all signs indicate they will, that reunion will carry the weight of two resurrections. Each believed the other gone. Each lived with the pain of absence, the guilt of unfinished chapters. For Britt, seeing Jason again might mean embracing the identity she buried. For Jason, seeing Britt alive could reignite everything he once tried to suppress. And then there's the larger implication. If Britt's survival becomes public knowledge, what else will be exposed? The existence of Dalton's drug, if real, would trigger a cascade of consequences. The medical world would erupt in pursuit of it, eager to replicate or exploit the formula. Liesl's role would come under intense scrutiny, potentially jeopardizing her career and freedom. And Britt herself would face a storm of ethical and legal fallout. She faked her death, lied to the public, abandoned her life and responsibilities. Her return may not be welcomed by everyone, especially those who grieved her or felt betrayed. The return of a character like Britt isn't merely a shocking twist, it's a narrative earthquake. It challenges the structure of reality as Port Charles understands it. It forces every character connected to her to reckon with buried emotions and long-held assumptions. More than that, it opens the door to untold new possibilities, redemption arcs, medical intrigue, romantic reconnection, and a larger-than-life story of survival. At the heart of it all, though, is Britt herself, a woman torn between the life she left behind and the one she fought to reclaim. Whether her return is triumphant or tragic will depend not just on science or circumstance, but on the choices she makes next. Does she embrace Jason and face the storm that follows, or remain hidden, clinging to the fragile peace she's created in Croatia? General Hospital thrives on the impossible becoming real. And if Britt's return teaches us anything, it's that love, science, and determination can sometimes outmatch even death. The question now is, what will Britt do with her second life? And will Port Charles ever be the same once she steps back into the light?